Boy Styles here with WestCoastStyles.com. Man, let me tell you something. We got the God MC in the house today. Legendary West Coast artist and hip hop artist, man. I mean, they don't come any better than this dude right here. We got Ras Kass in the house. And of course, we got my associate Shad Reed. You all know him by now. So, man, let's just knock this out, brother, man. We're excited to have you. We're honored. Um, man, we go back. Like I said, I was there the night when you came home from jail in 2004.
Yeah,
We had that party at the bowling alley in Hollywood. Man, and
yeah,
then it was just a cool ass time.
that was good.
But let's go
Thank you
ahead
for.
and do this interview here. Um, Let me just take you. Let's just go back a little bit. Um, your days before you were a professional artist, how did you come up with your style of rhyming? Like, what played a part in your development? And how you, because I know you didn't become the God MC overnight. It took it probably took a lot of work. You know what I mean?
I was just naturally really good, man. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, man. I was first of all, I was whack. All my homies, because I grew up in Watts, so all my friends, even when I talk, they always say you got. Well, first of all, I wasn't Ras Kass. They call me Baby John. I'm from Watts. I'm from Watts and Carson. I claim both. I went to school in Watts, but I've always lived in Carson. So I didn't start going to school in Carson until
Mhm.
middle of the seventh grade. So my socialization initially was in Watts. But my friends would always be like, like Baby John, why you use these big words? Just, my mom and dad, they got big vocabulary. I picked it up, my sisters, whatever. So trying to put whatever I thought was a cool rap together for them wasn't working anyway. And then I was whack. So
Mm.
yeah, I definitely didn't, I didn't plan on trying to be a rapper. Um, I was a fan first. Later on in life, uh, I had a friend who uh, we literally stopped playing with GI Joes together, like same day. Like, this shit ain't fun. Where the bitches at? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, literally that happened. Um,
Love it.
and we already liked music. And to make a long story short, um, I had a Technique 1200. I had a turntable. That was the alarm for y'all, so I wasn't late. Sorry about that. Okay. So yeah. I had a turntable. He had I forgot what they were, Shure, but it had a sampler on it, like an 8-second sampler or something. So we started putting records together. This was um, about eighth grade or something, and
Okay.
he he would we would just battle. We would make tapes, album, like a whole like side of a tape. So I'll go in by myself and I'll find my loops with all the records we had and diss him, and then vice versa. And then we just play them back to back and
Mm.
whatever. Play our friends or whatever, like real dumb. And then his older sister was dating a legendary K-Day DJ named Battle Cat. And I remember we
Oh,
were
okay.
walking up. Yeah, we were walking up and like to his house, and Cat was coming out, from whatever he was doing, and Bird gave the nigga the tape, which tripped me out. You know what I'm saying? Like we rap or whatever. Like not even that. Like we want you to hear this. I never would have done it, but he changed our lives. Bird did that, and when Battle Cat, and to his credit, he listened. So that was crazy. He was like popping an older dude and all that. Um, Already, the
Yeah.
K Day stuff and all that. Like he was, Battle Cat. He was like probably banging on wax Battle Cat by then. Like
Mm.
already making, having some, right before Ghetto Jam or maybe Ghetto Jam was out, like for real. So yeah, man, he came back and I remember, he said, you know, um, he pointed at Bird and he was like, your ear is good, and he was like, you rap good. Because we was just freestyle, I'd come up with like a hook or idea or
Yeah.
concept and diss the nigga. And it really went from there, man. Like he took us under his wing. Our homeboy Box had a deal, had a record deal. He put me probably on like the first vinyl ever, probably. There's some other people, Domino Theory. They were R&B group, and they looked out, and then my homeboy Wino really sealed the deal between Battle Cat and Wino ended up producing all of like Coolio stuff.
Yeah, is
The
this
first,
the same Wino from Coolio?
yeah. So he's from my neighborhood,
Okay.
from yeah,
Okay.
Carson. Yeah. So between those three people, man, they really believed in
Very
me.
underrated producer.
Yeah, yeah, and he's still big bro. That's the big homie. So yeah, man, they just cultivated me and believed in me. Even when I was hard headed, self destructive, they just always supported me and saw something I didn't see in myself and allowed me to develop my ideas and what I wanted to say and what I wanted to be about because I was growing up and I was having my thoughts and perceptions of the world, and they really did that, man. So it's due to them, bro. Like honestly.
Were you still Baby John then, or did you change your name to Ras Kass by then?
I became Ras Kass somewhere around 10th grade. That's when I decided I wanted to rhyme. I was already doing demos, doing stuff.
Yeah.
Half the people wouldn't call me Raz. They probably didn't start really maybe calling me Raz until 11th grade.
Okay.
Kalani, rest in peace. I pour out liquor for him on the first album. He's probably the first person that ever just accepted that I was, evolving and that this was who I was. And call me Raz. Battle, Wino and them, they call me Raz. Like outside of the niggas that was already developing me. Yeah, man. So by then, by like 11th grade, I was Raz. Yeah.
At what point were you able to tell yourself, man, I'm fucking dope at this shit?
I always second guessed everything. I just trusted the process. I trusted them. I thought it was dope. I'd do it and I'd be like, it's dope. But again, I have a big disconnect from the people I hang with. And part of the person I am and the music I make. Like Ras Kass is supposed to be a better version of me. You know what I'm saying? John Austin is a jailbird and rebellious and fucks up and drink and drive and all this, stupid shit. Fight in the streets and with his friends and gangbang and do all kind of stupid shit. Like normal LA people or normal kids, normal. We just out there wilding out sometimes and just misdirected. And so Ras Kass had knowledge itself and would be a better person. And unfortunately, he had to meet John Austin most of the time. So, it was that.
Was there ever a challenge to mix the two? Because LA's gangsta sound, you know what I'm saying? But yet you were very known for your lyricism and hip hop.
Not for me. Once I never wanted to have to be something I wasn't. Like I grew up in Watts in a Crip neighborhood. I was not bullied. I had a great, amazing fucking fun time. I was asked to see from the hood, and I rejected that when I was like 13. And I still ran around the hood and had fun and dated girls and whatever. So I always said I forgot how to Crip walk by the time by the time I was like in the 8th, 9th grade, I forgot how to Crip walk because I wasn't a Crip. You know what I'm saying? We all sympathize. We all from our neighborhood. We're associated. But you know what I'm saying? They like do it from over here. And so from over there, whatever. So no, not for me. I just thought it was I thought it was in poor taste. I know it sells records, but I just felt like it took a bigger strength for me to keep it a buck to myself than to sell a record being on some fake ass Crip shit or some fake blood shit. A lot of these rap things are fake ass Bloods and Crips and some fake ass Southsiders. So if you ain't really active, why you act like you active? That really get niggas extorted at the end of the day. It gets some people rich, you get a lot of niggas extorted, and get some niggas killed.
Yeah, I understand. We
Makes
got my
sense.
man Shad Reed in the house. Shad, would you like to take the floor and ask the brothers some
Sure, I'd
questions?
be happy to. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to speak with us. It's a real honor. You are one of the premier lyricists in hip hop history. I'm going to go on record as saying that.
Appreciate it.
Of course. That being said, and I'm sure we could do a whole interview about this one song, but I have to ask,
Okay.
talk about the creation of Nature of the Threat.
Super selfish record. It's getting knowledge of self, great sources, including basically I graduated at 16 from high school because I started school early, got skipped. So I'm kind of telling you these timelines. Whatever you're supposed to be in when you're 13, I was 2 grades up or whatever. I mean, so 15, whatever. These age when I was giving you the ages, that's kind of happened. So I took college courses after I got out of school. I already was getting knowledge of self by 10th and 11th grade. I was, it all started making sense. The things I couldn't ask the Catholic Church, the Christian Church, the Black Baptist Church. I'm asking these questions. Nobody, history books. It's like, so then, but Encyclopedia Britannica, it's there, you know, and Nation of Islam parts are there. And, you know what I'm saying? Black Israelites, like all that shit. I was, you know, and then going to college and getting those books, history, just straight history books, because the history you get, out of high school is a lot more in depth and specific. They just give you like an overview and it's pretty whitewashed. And so all those books started adding up the same. I'm like, really? Okay. So if I pay money and go to college, they'll tell me the truth. Or if I, you know, go to jail and get some knowledge of self or become a Nation of Islam, or like those niggas start telling me the truth. But I've just spent, why do they put us through a system to teach us the wrong shit up until 12th grade when a lot of us don't make it out because they disillusion us. They tell us we fucking, and that's it's kind of designed that way, but that's a different story. I wrote Nature of the Threat because I had all these dates and numbers, and there are two different schools of history. One is the accidental school of history, and the one is the causal or something like that, and which means that there's cause and effect, which is life. If you know the butterfly effect, or you know, if you take away the bees, then the plants don't get pollinated. So that means the trees die. That means then the squirrels don't eat. Then that means the cat don't eat. That means the fucking, you know, the food chain, then the people don't eat. Everybody dies. So that's history is that. So you get this 1492 and 1776 and 8000 BC. But when it's BC, what is that? What would mean that? So I wanted to write a chronological for myself. I was gonna do it for my second album, but I did all the research and I was buying all the books and going to school, going to college and all that. So I had all the books and I kept taking my. That's corrupt. Hold on. Corrupt.
What up, Gotti?
Hey, I'm doing an interview. Just say peace to the people. I'll call you right back, brother.
You're the man. Hey, what song is Tragedy on?
That's the Tragedy's on the bonus song. It's the Ride On record.
Gotcha. All right.
All right, I'll call you back. Like,
all right.
Shouts out my brother.
Yeah, that's the big homie.
So, yes, big bro, man. My brother now. That's crazy. Like you know, one of my favorite West Coast spitter, and then to become, you know, friends and peers and homies is amazing. So, you know, that's a blessing. But basically, I wrote it to understand if people scientifically come from Africa, when do we evolve and become different? Because there's still only one race, so we're already wrong about that. But we all run around espousing the same ignorance, and we're not taught better. So there's only one race. There's different families, evolution, and whatever. The human family has evolved, and you know, you got the Asian, and then most people are blends of that anyway. And so when did these evolutions and these geographic changes happen? And why did niggas start? What the fuck did we do to get picked on the beat? Because we, for the niggas. That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to know, purely, like I went on that journey not to find things to make me feel better, but to find the truth. And I was prepared to accept whatever the facts led me, and that's what I try to do with Nature the Threat. Is that's what the facts led me from my history books, my what is it called? History. There's cultural anthropology, physical anthropology, linguistics, all that shit. So that's what I went to school, and I just took those classes because that's what I wanted to get out of school. I didn't really care about anything. I took an oration class, and which really did help me. That was cool. But I didn't care about the math and all that shit. I should have, because the money counts. But I cared about the history stuff, and that's what I focused on. I would have 3 classes of that shit for a semester. Just straight history shit. So yeah, man. And what I can, that's, as factually accurately with all those books, because they all kept saying encyclopedia said the shit that was at school, at in the history class, said the same shit that Elijah Muhammad had said in this part about this shit, or this historian in Mexico, or this historian in Japan or China, and it just all it's like being in a matrix. I saw the numbers, and then I just wrote it out. The research took years. To write the song didn't take long at all. Honestly, I felt like I wrote that shit in like 2 hours, because I just put all the books on the ground, and I already had my footnotes, and then I kind of outlined what I would do first. Like, it's really a thesis paper. It's like writing a report in college. So I just wrote a thesis. I wrote an outline first, and I marked where everything was. I'm going to talk about this first, that first, this first. Then I'm going to get to that. And then, and so, yeah, it just made sense.
Well, it's an amazing, timeless record that I think everybody needs to hear. Very educational, very much epitomizes the power of hip hop. Of course. Clearly, you're very well read. What was it that made you decide to title your first album "Soul on Ice" after Aldridge Cleaver's book, as opposed to another piece of literature?
So I was in juvie for fucking up, and then my mother bought me a whole bunch of books, but that happened to be one of them. And what stood out to me about that particular book, because I wasn't a big, my hero was Malcolm X, and ironically W.B. Du Bois, and the Black Star Lines and all that. The more fighter ones, not the love your enemy guys. I like, I'm with I like the revolution guys. So, yes, sir. I'm good, brother. I got you. Thank you. So for me, it was he didn't write a linear book. What it is these very. He was in prison when he wrote it, and he was kind of just reflecting about happy times, sad times, regrets, love, racism, all these things, and that's pretty much what life is. It ain't all one thing, and that's kind of even for me, I always wanted to write about who I was, not. A lot of people pick, I'm the Crip, I'm the Blood, I'm the Trapper, I'm the Fly Guy, I'm the super underground hip hop. I'm this, I love the ladies, I'm the weed smoker. I'm the, those are to me they're these one-dimensional aspects of a person. They don't cover a human. And so my goal was to write as my whole gamut as a human being and express my regret. Talk, from LA, talk my LA shit. Sometimes I'm on some street shit. Sometimes I'm on some nerd shit. Sometimes, and to be okay and be honest about it. It didn't work as well as I thought, but I liked it because I'm comfortable in my skin and I wanted to be able to be myself. Yeah. I don't think my company knew how to market that. They knew how to market NWA, and they're legendary, but because I didn't fit into that box, they didn't know what to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but neither did they do with Jay-Z at the time.
Yeah. Dre backed your career very early. Tell me about meeting him and how'd you first come in contact with Dr. Dre?
Shit, man. I actually met him. We called it housing. So I was a dope break dancer. I couldn't really dance. I was just gymnastic because that's some watch shit. So I could flip and walk on my hands and all that. So we had a homie from Long Beach, Dre Be Gone. Dre Be Gone was gonna sign a Suge early on. This is before Death Row, probably. We was house niggas. So I met him one time at a spot in Compton, being with my older Long Beach homies. He'd never remember that, but I remember Suge because he was a big ass nigga. You couldn't not miss him and shit. But he wasn't Suge. He wasn't Suge. He wasn't Suge that we would know yet.
Yeah.
But fast forward, I became my own artist. My friend that would help me finish my first album is from Inglewood. His name is Flip, and Michael Barber. And so then Flip was a dope ass producer and the blood, and Dre's childhood homies that went on to help him found Death Row. I mean Aftermath was Mike Lynn. They had a record deal out. They had a song. They were called Po Broken Lonely. So they were older dudes. So Po Broken Lonely was Chris the Glove, Mike Lynn, and RC Ruben Cruz. So they were all bigger homies. Then one day I went to the studio with Flip, and they had the Dog Pound album before it came out. So I was in there zoning out. And then fast forward, Mike Lynn called me one day after my first album came out, and he was like, "Yo, what you doing? Would you want to come to the studio? I'm up here with Dr. Dre." I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" And then I went up there, and he was starting a new label, and it was not called Aftermath at the time. And I just went and was just writing the beats and writing the songs, and that it just grew from there. He's a brilliant dude. I appreciate everything he taught me, and I've just by being around his vibe in the studio, I picked up some things that to this day I still use. He's masterful, brilliant, and no matter what, I think one of the best things about Dr. Dre is, in my opinion, and I've been around a lot of MCs and producers and music industry people. Some of them forget to be a fan of the art, and then they so about money or this or what's popular. They become groupies and reactive. He is still a fan of the art. He's a fan of a dope beat. He's a fan of a dope rhyme. He's a fan of a dope hook. Like, if it ain't fire, it ain't fire. He ain't a dick rider just because you popping right now or whatever. And I respect that.
Were some of those sessions where you created the Ghetto Fabulous song with him and Mac 10?
Yeah, well, I kept trying to get that beat because I just wanted that beat. He had already did the tango to it, but yeah. But he would play shit and he'd be like, that's the cool thing about him too. Like, he'd just be playing some shit or making some shit, be like, what you think it is? Of course, you gotta be confident. So I'm like, I'll kill that shit. And nigga, get a pen and a pad, get him some paper. Let's see. So he put you to the test. You pass the test, you might you might be on. That's and everybody's like that. He's got a lot of talented, hungry people, whether it's singing, rhyming, playing, put you to the test. And he put me to the test, and I wrote that one, and he let me have it.
Wow. So, do you wish you signed to Aftermath instead of Priority?
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, man.
Yeah.
If I could have done anything differently, I definitely would, but I can't. So living in that, unless I write like a song about it. But I mean, I just found out that Loud, that Steve Rifkin told me, he's like, you're the only guy I tried to sign that didn't sign to me. And I was like, my people didn't even tell me that you wanted to sign me because I would have signed Loud.
Damn.
Oh,
That would have been a dope combo too, you know?
Yeah.
Come on, man. They got it. I mean, they understood hip hop from the West Coast. They had the licks. You know, they were going to go on to sign Exhibit because Exhibit signed probably about 4 months after me. So that means he had a spot for me and a spot for Exhibit. They had Mobb Deep, all of the Pun, fucking Wu-Tang. I would have went there. And, that would have been a whole different kind of home, still local. That would have gave me, I had the option for Def Jam. I mean, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But I picked priority. I always say I picked the wrong thing for the right reason. Felt like I'm from the West Coast. I wanted a West. I was just another growth from the West Coast tree, and I thought they understood that my big homies will always be Ice Cube and WA and and then Snoop Dogg and what they did, and I was trying to follow through with that, with just a different my perception of that LA experience. But I picked wrong, in retrospect, and I figured that out pretty early on.
What exactly happened with your third album, and what's the story behind that, and how it got shelved, and so on and so forth?
Well, there's 2 albums that process basically happened to. So Van Gogh is 2000. Brian Turner sold half his company, and then they bought the second half and squeezed them out. Capitol did.
Oh, okay.
And so literally that
one got leaked, I believe, right? Yeah,
but that wasn't really what happened. Nobody did their job.
Okay.
When mergers happen, everybody's sending out their fucking, their bio. They try to get, their whatever it's called, their resume.
Mm-hmm.
So radio wasn't doing their job, so a lot of people's stuff was falling by the wayside. It just so happened that mine was fiscally at the end of the year. Like I was like late September, I believe. And that's when all the heads went. So I remember the new VP, they installed a new VP, and literally we had shot a dope video. We shot the Back It Up video, but radio, nothing. They just hadn't done anything. Nobody did nothing because they were rightfully afraid they would be fired soon. So they weren't caring about nobody's project, and mine just happened to be the last project that they didn't care about. And it wasn't personal, it was business for them. But again, it's my life, and some people, whatever. People are people. They're gonna do what they gotta do. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. So the VP called me in, said, showed me the CDs. Like the CDs just came in. They told me who was getting fired as far as like artists, because now we were gonna move out of the party building and go to Capitol. And they were only keeping a few of us if we so chose to. That was Snoop Dogg. Ice Cube was finished, and he big dog. He probably didn't want to go back and be on a label again. He big dog. Nigga got movies and shit Friday. Why you want to sign to a label? So it was me, Snoop, and maybe somebody else. And they said we could put this album out, and then they'll probably just drop you. So if you want to go, do it that way. Or we fucked up and we have mismanaged the last 2 times with you, and we even failed this time, and we'll make it up to you, and we'll make you a marquee artist after this Van Gogh album.
Okay.
And so we'll shelf it, then and whatever, and then we'll keep some of the records and do a whole budget and expand on that record, which was Van Gogh. Unfortunately, I believed them, and then they dropped the ball again and fucked that record up too. So that was that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say the biggest thing you learned from the whole experience was?
I learned that you have to. I mean, the easiest way to say it is the way I play in a rap. What the fine print giveth, what the large print giveth, the fine print taketh away. And if you don't have an out, corporate America, rather than let you be free, they'll spend 10 times the money to fuck with your life, then same thing police do. They'll beat you up, cover it up, do all this kind of shit when they could just say, no, I was wrong. I fucked up. I shouldn't have stopped them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what corporate America does. There's a whole bunch of arrogant, fucked up white people. I'm not going to lie. They don't like when I say that, but it's true. And that's what they do. They fuck with people's lives because they can, and they think they God, until somebody put a cap in their ass. That was pushed me to do that. So, lucky for them. They finally let me out after like 8-9 years. So I fought to get fired, and that's what I try to tell these people is, you just gotta make sure your paperwork is right. From the beginning to make sure that when they breach contract, there's a difference between what happened in Jay-Z's career and mine. Is just because he had an ace in the hole, they got him out. Jay-Z would have been stuck with me being an incredibly talented dude that couldn't get out of. Trust me, he got $1 billion now. He didn't have $1 billion to go to war and go fight with Capitol Records for 10 years. Just think if he was fighting for 10 years, nothing comes out.
What about your lawyer, though? Did your lawyer ever point out any of this stuff?
Yeah, but still, I just, I don't want to negate my attorney at that time. I feel like she did the best she could. It was just, the circumstances and power. This is all politics and power and having the right kind of. Jay-Z didn't leave Party because they let him go. Like, he left because he had an ace in the hole. Like, if I had an ace in the hole, I would have got out and then I would have went to Def Jam or Loud or whatever. That's why they kept me, because they knew other people wanted me. Dr. Dre told me that. He was like, dude, you're a superstar and you'll never be a superstar that you are over there. And he giving me records and believing in me. That was him telling me that. Like, you'll never be a star with them. They are just ruining your superstar. Like, they whack. And that hurt. That's why I fought. Honestly, I fought because Dr. Dre told me, quite frankly, like, I'm just going to go nowhere slow. So I might as well go nowhere faster and, like, start the process. I couldn't. If I was in a 5-record contract and I still hadn't got my 3rd done after 10 years, I was like, fuck, I'll be like 60 by the time I get out of this shit. Just to try to get 5 records out of these niggas. So I'm gonna have to fucking force it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could not get a 3rd album out. I'm like, what the fuck? So.
Well, I just think it's interesting, to your point, what you were saying earlier about how, like, the label didn't know how to market you. And so then again, a rapper from Watts puts together an album called Van Gogh. Like, what are they going to do with that? How do they present that to the public?
Yeah. I mean, but the same thing I told Brian Turner after the second album, the owner of Priority at the time before he sold it all, Nature the Threat was on my demo. So I was like, I wrote a 8-minute history of racism with no hook. If you think I'm on the Crip Walk, you got the wrong nigga. So why'd you sign me?
Nature the Threat was on your demo tape?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Amazing. What did Brian Turner tell you? What did he say? Why did he sign you? What was his whole? What did he say?
Shit. There was a bidding war. So you got Rick Rubin and Russell Simmons saying I'm the future of hip hop. I'm the illest lyricist, and I probably am. Nobody could write that. Niggas couldn't even write an Interview with the Vampire. Niggas could gun talk. Niggas got good flows, but niggas don't be saying shit. Some people got history, whatever. I got an ill twisted with mine. It influenced Eminem. So I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not trying to downplay him. I influenced Eminem. Royce 5'9" will say any day, and he's older than me. They'll say we bought Solo Nice and rap like Ras Kass for a year. So the biggest selling rapper, he's part of my matrix. What am I?
Yeah.
Wow.
You definitely fall into that your favorite rapper's favorite rapper category, without a doubt.
Yeah, everybody's path is different. I don't cry about that. I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm blessed. I enjoy my journey, and it ain't over with yet. We never knew. You know what I mean? I would have. I'm still enjoying creating music. I've learned a lot. I'm constantly interested in improvement. and I'm happy. So I mean,
Mhm.
but yeah, I want the I say it. I say most of the things I think. I want the mansion and the yacht and all that shit the rich black rappers got. I wanted to. So I'm gonna get that stuff. I'll work towards it. I'm still working.
For sure. Now, Corrupt called earlier, and that was a cool little interruption there by Corrupt.
Yeah,
But you also joined the group with him, the Four Horsemen. The Horsemen,
the horseman.
lyricists.
My bad.
So
Let me just.
powerful.
Sorry, and he spoke
Tell
him
me
up,
about
and
the Horsemen, please.
I will. This is Killer Priestess. Sean. Hey, I'm in an interview, but it's funny. I just spoke you guys up. Will do. All right, thanks, fam. Peace. Yes.
So we've had interruptions from Corrupt and Killer Priest. Maybe that's a sign. That's an omen, man. The Four Horsemen got to ride again.
We're gonna ride the last ride.
Tell us about the group.
Oh man, we're the original lyrical MC super group. But we never could, for whatever reasons, we had these false starts. Mostly because somebody's people would get in and bootleg the shit and get some money, and then we didn't get nothing out of it, but the shit wasn't finished. So nobody has ever heard. They've heard Horseman ideas, but they never heard a mixed record, except for the solo ones like I'd put on a project or Cannabis or Priest or whatever. So we just never, we'd have to kind of start from scratch because the shit would leak and somebody would bootleg it. I'm like, fuck, bro.
Damn.
So, and then you go off on your own career and your own life and your own personal issues and your journey or whatever. So for me, I wanted, honestly, I during COVID, it's not even over with yet, but during the main lockdown, the heavy lockdown, I have my small circle of friends, and I've been creating, I've been proactive and productive this whole time. So one thing I did at some point randomly, I forgot why, but I pulled up the Horseman stuff because I just had all the stuff sitting on a hard drive. And I was just a little peeved, with myself. I felt like, we never benefited and reaped the benefit of our hard work and our time and our effort. And we had these incomplete things that, I had nothing but time to kind of complete. So I had like a verse here and and a hook over here from this other beat. And it was nice of them to allow me to take those things and morph them into a journey. So it's just a love letter to my my homies, my fellow MCs, that I wanted them to know this was worthwhile, and I felt like the people deserved it. I hate when people ask me like, so what's up, whatever happened. Now I just I want to be able to say, look, my nigga, this is a lot of this is 10, 15, like lyrically we try to vamp what we like production wise, but this was us, and then some of it is new. So it's like a weird interpolation of our journey. It's 1999, 2000 to 2021. That's really what it is. Without the majority being things you never heard. You know what I mean? So that part was super cool. What was more fun to me was to go pitch it. So I basically put it all together, and then I went and pitched it to Killer Priest and Corrupt. And Cannabis did it differently, but I went physically, like a little listening party with the artwork and the whole shit, and that shit was awesome. And just because I just wanted them to know we worthwhile. Like what we did wasn't a waste of fucking time, because that's how I was starting to feel, like a fucking waste of time, and it's not. And this shit is dope. And one of the nicest things Corrupt had said was just like, when he listened to it, he's just like, fuck, bro, like you did it. And like, he was like, hip hop needs this shit. This shit is fucking dope. Like this is the Horseman. This is what we were supposed to do. And it's hard. And and so I don't take none of the credit, but I will take the blame. but I'm just really, I feel like any credit it was just what we were trying to give the world before, but it took till now to give it to them. So I call it our debut finale. hence 20 years in the making. Hence,
but you are spearheading the effort, though. You know what I mean? You know, you're spearheading the effort to make it all happen, and that's what's really
man. It's a labor of love, man.
You know when we can see it?
Oh, the album comes out. The album comes out June 18th. Fat Beats. So yeah, we just we'll like we'll debut the artwork and the first video next week. And then we got videos coming, all that. So the album's coming out. It's not like we're working on it. That's just done. We waiting for vinyl to come back and shit. That's just done.
Yeah.
And it won't be the same, more the same, coulda, shoulda, woulda, maybe, when, I don't know. That shit coming out, bro. It's just done.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What about you? The other group, the Golden State. You were on the Golden State Warriors, right?
Yeah. That's a different situation. Saphir had a spinal injury, so it paralyzed him.
Sure.
So he's my brother and my friend before anything. But what we want to do is is love him as a friend. It's beyond rap now. That's not. I don't think that's something he's looking to do. You know what I mean? And he's not replaceable. That chemistry is that chemistry. So we still we fuck with him and do that. And then I still run with Exhibit. We just right before COVID we went on tour. Yeah, and then he's got he's got his napalm. He's got his weed, all that shit. So he's doing great.
Yeah. Now you have these. Man, what's next for you?
What's next for me right now? I'm Horseman out. So we're gonna give these people the Horseman project. God willing, the people support it. They always say build it and they will come. So we tried to build it. Well, we didn't try to build it. We built it, and we're gonna promote it. And the goal is that there's a million hip hop fans still in America. So I hope they activate, or even fucking 200,000 or whatever. If they support it, it gives us an avenue. You know what I'm saying? And then the goofies and the followers will jump on just because everybody else on it. So we're gonna do that, and then outside of that, tour. So we're looking to be able to run out the Dolo, or we roll out with a Wu-Tang and open up. Shit, yeah. Roll out with a Snoop. It'll make sense now. So yeah, that's the end game, is to go out and touch the people. But I got other shit in the chamber.
Okay.
I'm just not focused.
Chad, do you have anything else, brother?
Kind of speaking on collaborations. I know with jumping back real quick to Soul on Ice. I know you just had the one feature with Coolio on drama, but then when you had your Barmageddon project, you had a lot of different features. You had old school artists like Ice-T and Too Short, and you had newer school artists like Kendrick and Talib Kweli. Were you very selective with that process? I know there's always a generation gap in hip hop, and I thought that project did a really good job of kind of bridging that gap. Was that
I'm always trying to do that, man. I for me, I mean, I don't have any problem. I'm pretty much a selfish rapper. Like, I'll take a project to the neck, but I've been pretty interested in, and I kind of learned that from Dre. Like, other voices give a different energy, and it's it's different ingredient. It's just like cooking. You know what I'm saying? If your ingredients change what the food is and what it tastes like and what it smells like. And so I've been interested in that part of the creative process, even in my own projects, for a while. I like blending people that you may not expect to rhyme together. I love, ultimately, I think what Dre said it before. He's like, basically, I'm a producer. So I enjoy producing. I just use me as the vehicle to produce these things that I like in hip hop. I'd love to, just the random thing, like, whatever, the dope new kid with the, with the legendary MC, but with maybe, with the premier beat, but the fucking Chris Brown hook, or I want to do real shit. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody, there's so many talented people, and either we separate by coast, or we separate by race, or we separate by fucking genre, or we separate by politics. Like, oh, I'm popping, I'm this. Like, that shit all corny when it's really about the art to me. I like the art, and the art is what matters at the end. So,
for sure.
No,
Well,
that's cool, man.
Well, bro, I really appreciate you taking the time. And we really look forward to this Horseman project and to push it. We're gonna be pushing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna be behind it, promoting it like hell. You know what I'm saying?
We got some write-ups, and we're gonna be dropping content, all kind of cool shit. We got skateboards, all kind of crazy shit. So thanks, Styles. Shit, we go back, man. You was there at the release with 40 Glock and them. Oh, 40 Glock's free. Yeah. I don't think I'm supposed to tell that. Stupid fuck. Don't go back. All right.
Shad, do you have anything else, bro?
No. You really answered my questions, and I again really appreciate it. Styles, I always like to give the artist the last word, but Styles, by all means, if you got anything else you want to ask, by all means, go for it, brother.
I'm good, bro. I'm just ready for this Horseman now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we can, before we end though, if you could please give a drop for westcoaststyles.com, pretty please.
Yep. What's up, y'all? This is your boy Ras Kass. Oh, okay. You ready? Okay.
We're ready, bro.
Yo. All right. Yo, what's up, y'all? This is the waterproof MC Ras Kass, and you are now tuned in to westcoaststyles.com. That part. Bruce Lee, bitch.
We got Bruce on the turntables. Nice.
Bruce on the
All right, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and let you get back to your business.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and get back to your business, bro.
Oh yes, thank you, sir. And please know, and I know it goes without saying,
and man, once again, thank you very much, man.
Yep, you've always got a platform with us, so please feel free with this Horseman project. Reach out, and yeah, we'll be glad to do whatever we can for you, sir.
Man, thank you so much, y'all. Y'all be good. We'll talk soon too.
All right, sounds good, man.
Give you content.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.
All right, have a good night.